hop on and make some pancakes this morning. So that's what Georgia requested. She wanted bacon and pancakes, so that's what we're gonna make. I do not ever purchase the boxed pancake mix or waffle mix because I can just do that from the stuff that I have in my pantry. So you're just gonna need some flour, some sugar, buttermilk, or you can use regular milk, butter, eggs, baking soda, baking powder. So stick with me and you can watch how I make some buttermilk pancakes. All right, to get started, we're gonna measure out our dry ingredients. One of the things that you kind of need to know is when you're getting dry ingredients, you wanna spoon your product into your measuring cup so that you don't pack the flour in and get way too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill my measuring cup. This is a 1 cup measuring cup, and I am going to level it off with the flat part of a knife and put that in my mixing bowl. Again, I need 2 cups, so I'm gonna do this one more time. Make sure that you are spooning in your ingredients. All right, I need 3 tablespoons of sugar. Get that leveled off, put that in my mixing bowl. One and a half teaspoons of baking powder. All right, if you look at the baking powder, it does have a flat edge right here, and that flat edge is so that you can get a nice level scoop. So that's my half teaspoon. Here's my 1 teaspoon. And I need the same amount of baking soda. So baking soda and baking powder are not the same thing. Baking soda actually needs an acid for it to activate. Baking powder, it's already made in. The last dry ingredient I'm gonna put in is my 1.5 teaspoons of salt. All right, so I have all of my dry ingredients in this bowl, and I really want to take this and get all the lumps out before I start mixing the wet ingredients in. So if you have a sifter, like a fine mesh sifter, that's what you would want to use. If you do not have that, then you could use a whisk to go ahead and whisk this in right now so that you're getting as many lumps out as possible, and you're going to distribute all of your baking powder, baking soda in this bowl. The reason that you do want to sift is because this is what's left, and so you can get all of those little lumps out by just running your finger to the bottom of your strainer. You do not want to bite into a big lump of flour. Okay, so in this bowl I have 2.5 cups of buttermilk. I have 2 eggs and 3 tablespoons of melted butter that has been cooled off, and I just put that in there. So it's really important to mix all of your ingredients in this bowl, so that all your wet ingredients in this bowl, so that you're not over mixing once you incorporate your wet and your dry ingredients. So you don't want like a tough, chewy pancake. You want a nice, fluffy pancake. So this will help with that. I do want to give you a quick tip when you're measuring your liquid. Make sure that you're using a measuring cup that is similar to this, that it has a pour spout, and the numbers do not go all the way up. That way you can measure the correct amount. If you're using a measuring cup like this, then it's very difficult to get the correct amount of liquid into the cup and not spill it or anything. So liquid measuring cup, dry ingredient measuring cup. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and slowly start to pour in my liquid ingredient to my dry ingredients, and I have switched to a rubber spatula just so that I do not overmix. That is the most important thing when you're making pancakes from scratch, is you do not want to overmix. Some lumps will be okay, so just remember that. Some lumps will be fine. Pancake batter, and we're going to go ahead and let that sit here for just a second while I get my pan ready. All right, so I have my pan ready. It's nice and hot. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my batter into my pan and let these things cook. Alright, so what you're looking for are these nice big bubbles, and you want a lot of those, and when you see that you have lots of bubbles forming and they're popping at the surface, you can go ahead and turn over your pancake, so that would be safe to do so. You want to cook this just for probably about 30 seconds on this side, and then you can put it in your oven to stay warm until all of your other pancakes are done.